The night was thick with an unsettling fog as we drove down the winding country road. My friend Sarah and I had been on a road trip for days, seeking adventure in the forgotten corners of America. Little did we know, we were about to stumble upon a mystery that would haunt us for the rest of our lives. As our headlights pierced through the mist, an old wooden sign emerged. "Welcome to Millbrook, population 312. The faded paint and weathered wood hinted at a town frozen in time. Intrigued, we decided to explore this quaint settlement that seemed to have escaped the relentless march of progress. The moment we crossed the town limits, an eerie sensation washed over us. The streets were lined with gas lamps, casting flickering shadows on cobblestone paths. Horse-drawn carriages clattered by, their drivers tipping their top hats in greeting. Women in long, flowing dresses hurried past, their faces partially obscured by lace parasols. It was as if we had stepped through a portal into the 1800s. Our car, a stark anachronism in this Victorian tableau, drew curious stares from the townsfolk. We parked near the town square, where a grand clock tower loomed overhead, its hands permanently stuck at midnight. The air was heavy with the scent of burning wood and something else. Something ancient and indescribable. As we wandered the streets, a bone-chilling realization crept over us. The people of Millbrook moved with an unnatural grace, their eyes never quite meeting ours. Their voices, when they spoke, seemed to echo from somewhere far away, as if carried on a spectral wind. Night was falling fast, and an overwhelming urge to leave gripped us both. But as we turned to head back to our car, we found the streets had rearranged themselves, forming a labyrinth of unfamiliar alleys and dead ends. Panic rising in our throats, we stumbled upon the Millbrook Inn, a decrepit building with peeling paint and windows that seemed to watch us approach. The innkeeper, a gaunt man with sunken eyes, greeted us with a smile that never reached his eyes. "We've been expecting you," he rasped, sliding a rusted key across the counter. "Room 13 is ready." That night, sleep eluded us. The walls of our room seemed to pulse with an otherworldly energy. Whispers drifted through the floorboards, and shadows danced at the edge of our vision. As the clock struck 3, a blood-curdling scream tore through the silence, followed by the sound of something heavy being dragged across the floor above us. Heart pounding, I reached for my phone to call for help, only to find it dead. Sarah's was the same. We huddled together, paralyzed with fear, as the long hours of the night crawled by. When dawn finally broke, we fled the inn, desperate to escape the nightmare we had stumbled into. But as we ran through the streets, we realized with growing horror that the town was changing. Buildings flickered in and out of existence, like mirages in a desert. The townsfolk moved in jerky, unnatural motions, their faces blurring and shifting before our eyes. We finally reached our car, fumbling with the keys as an unnatural wind howled around us. As we sped away from Millbrook, I glanced in the rearview mirror to see the entire town shimmer and fade, like a mirage dissipating in the morning sun. Shaken to our core, we drove to the nearest police station in the next town over. The officers listened to our tale with skepticism, but agreed to accompany us back to Millbrook to investigate. But when we returned to where the town should have been, there was nothing. No buildings, no streets, no sign of human habitation, just an empty field, overgrown with weeds and dotted with ancient, gnarled trees. The police searched the area, but found no evidence that a town had ever existed there. As we stood in that desolate field, the weight of what we had experienced settled over us like a shroud. The town of Millbrook had vanished without a trace, taking its secrets with it. But the memories of that night, the unnatural stillness, the whispers in the dark, the faces that weren't quite human would stay with us forever. In the years that followed, Sarah and I researched obsessively, trying to find any record of Millbrook or its inhabitants. We scoured historical archives, paranormal forums, and local legends, but it was as if the town had never existed outside of our shared nightmare. Sometimes, on dark nights when the wind howls just right, I swear I can hear the distant toll of that clock tower forever stuck at midnight. And in my dreams, I find myself wandering those cobblestone streets again, knowing that this time, I might never find my way out. The mystery of Millbrook, the town that vanished overnight, remains unsolved. But for those of us who experienced its otherworldly horrors, the scars remain. We are left to wonder, was it a glimpse into a parallel world, a town trapped between dimensions, or something even more sinister? One thing is certain, there are places in this world where the veil between reality and the unknown grows thin. And sometimes, if you're not careful, you might just step through to the other side. As I sit here recounting this tale, I can't shake the feeling that I'm being watched. The shadows in the corners of my room seem to deepen, and for a moment, I catch a whiff of that indescribable scent that permeated the air in Millbrook. A chill runs down my spine as I realize perhaps Millbrook didn't vanish after all. Perhaps it's still out there, waiting for unsuspecting travelers to stumble upon its cursed streets once more. So if you're ever driving down a lonely country road and come across a quaint old town that seems too perfect, too unchanged by time, think twice before you stop. For you never know when you might find yourself trapped in a place where the laws of reality no longer apply. In a town that vanishes with the morning mist, leaving nothing behind but the echoes of your own terrified screams.